In this next module, we're going to work on building the outer part of the rim, which will be combined with the inner part of our racing rim. All right, let's jump right to it. So let's go to Create, Polygon Primitives, Pipe. Now, just like we did for the first pipe, we're going to set the scale up a bit. Only this time, we're going to set the XYZ scale to 9. And we're going to rotate the pipe by negative 90 degrees on the Z-axis. Great. Now we're going to go to our side view and scale up the radius. And we're going to try to match it with the upper part of the rim here. Now we'll play with the thickness just a little bit. I think setting the thickness to maybe 0.5 should suffice. Now, as for the radius, I actually think we can work with this just a bit more. All right, so far so good. Now, at this point, we're going to adjust the height just a little bit. Okay, great. Now, in order to get the spokes just right, the subdivisions for the outer pipe will be more than the subdivisions on the inner pipe that we've made earlier. The inner pipe, remember, has 24 subdivisions, but because the outer pipe or car rim is slightly larger, what we're going to do is that we're going to need a little bit more subdivisions to account for the space in between the spokes of the rim. So instead of 24 subdivisions, we'll set the subdivisions to 36. All right, great. Now let's take our insert edge loop tool and we're going to make a few edge loops on the inside of the outer rim. Looking good so far. Now that we have the catalyst of our racing rim, the inner and outer rim, let's go ahead and combine them together. So let's select both of our rim pieces here. And then we're going to go to Mesh and then hit Combine. Okay, great. Now let's make our spokes for the rim. Using the reference from the image, and we're going to make sure that we're in polygon face mode. We'll select these faces here. And we're going to hop into our perspective view. And we're going to just deselect these unwanted faces. And it's just going to leave us just with the two faces selected on the outer rim. Now we'll select the two faces here on the inner rim. Then we'll go to Edit Mesh. And then we're going to click Bridge. And there we go. We now have these two faces bridged together to create our first spoke. Now, let's also make sure that there are no divisions. So make sure that it's set to 0. Now that you have the basic guideline on how to bridge these together, you're going to do the same thing with the other faces, using the image reference as a guide. Just select those faces, and you can actually hit the G key to quickly bridge them together. Now, the G key is essentially our repeat. Now, just do the exact same thing with the rest of the faces, keeping the outer rim 4 faces apart from one another to create the spokes. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and pause the video here and do the exact same thing. We're going to do the rest, and we'll go ahead and move on. All right, awesome. Now we have all 6 spokes created. In the next module, we're going to go ahead and create more details to our spokes. So we're going to add details to the spokes to help make this racing rim look a little bit more realistic. We'll move around some verts as well as add some edge loops, and we'll be one step closer to creating our Volk racing rim. So stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next module.